Microphone muted. Microphone activated. Sound muted. Sound resumed.
Kevin. All right, we can hear it on the live stream.
Any questions for me, guys? Make sure you grid as soon as you can.
Curtis, you ready?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I didn't post that on my actual Facebook. Made sure I posted to the group.
Curtis, can you put that in the Facebook group?
Hey, wake up. Insufficient permissions.
All right. Well, good evening, race fans. A little bit of an impromptu broadcast here. Unfortunately, Mike D'Amico having a little bit of power trouble, so he's not able to bring the broadcast to you. But you just heard him, Kevin Fetty, stepping up his game just a little bit, being the producer. I'm Gabriel Wood alongside Curtis Young, Robert McFarland. He's adminning, but he will join us a couple times throughout the night, as he usually does. A little bit of a different change here, Curtis. We're here at Phoenix International Raceway. The cars are getting ready to roll off of pit road. We got a couple of seconds. Let's go ahead and roll through your starting grid here for what is basically all-pro broadcasting, just minus the actual all-pro broadcasting. Tyler Chalk ended up getting the pole with a 26.965. Blake Griffith, followed by James Ross, Gary Sexton, and Eric Stanford round out your top 5. Jeff T. Martin in 6th, Shane Parrish in 7th, Vernon Markheim in the 8th position, James Somke, Andrew Kessler round out your top 10.
Starting in 11th, 24, William Locklear. The 44 is Ray Richer starting in 12th. The 85, that's Judd Danielson. He's starting in 13th tonight. Sean Kalis in the 45 rolls off in 14th, and the top 15 is rounded out by the number 3. That's Mark Jackson.
Chad Payne in the 16th position, your final driver to run a qualifying lap. And, wow, some interesting developments here. It looks like we've actually had the 51 machine removed from the server. He was your championship leader coming in. But anyway, Jack Watts in 17th. Ivan Garcia, Ralph Vandervoort, Robert McFarland, and Jeremy Crandall round out your field. And are going to come off of turn number 4. Green flag in here. Quick start here at Phoenix. They're going to roll off into turn number 1. And the number 7 machine of Tyler Chalk is followed, or excuse me, the 07. Followed by the 7 machine of Blake Griffith, Eric Stanford in 3rd. They're going to all dive it down to the dog leg. That's going to be the place to make a pass here at Phoenix International Raceway as they come into turn number 3 to complete lap number 1 of 150 laps scheduled on the docket for tonight.
And yeah, James Ross, I guess, having a little bit of issues there, but first battle I see is Vernon Markheim diving down the dogleg underneath of number 15 of Jeff T. Martin. They'll go side by side into turn number 3, and usually that top lane carries the momentum down off onto the front stretch, and it looks like that's exactly what Jeff T. Martin did in that number 15 machine, and Vernon Markheim still holding on to the 4th position there. A little bit further back, it looks like Mark Jackson in the 3 machine looks below the number 98 of Andrew Kessler. Dives it down there into turn number 3. He looks to get clear before they hit turn number 4. He's going to be able to do it. Clears Andrew Kessler for the believe that's the 10th position. Judd Danielson looks like he's looking below James Somke into turn number 3. Almost gets into the back of the number 1 machine there through the center of 3 and 4, keeps it off the back bumper. He's got Mark Jackson coming right up on his back bumper, almost looking to his inside, headed down into turn number 1.
User joined your channel.
5 laps into tonight's event, 150 laps. 20 drivers start tonight's race. Robert McFarland did not, it looks like he was just scheduled as a driver, but did not complete the first lap, so he is not scored along with James Ross. So your 20 cars on the racetrack for your championship round. It's the final round before the championship race at Homestead, Miami. And let's go ahead and go. James Ross is locked into the final round along with Gerald Campbell. But the guys racing for their way in, Gary Sexton and Jeremy Crandall, along with Jack Watts and maybe Blake Griffith and Andrew Kessler. They're pretty much locked in. They just need some solid finishes here to get into the chase, Curtis. But then you've got Tyler Chalk, Judd Danielson, Vernon Markheim, Shane Parrish, and William Locklear. They're all 6 points or lower ahead of the cutoff line. Ivan Garcia, Jeff Martin, Chad Payne, and Mark Jackson. Those guys are 3, 4, 6, and 57 points out. So Mark Jackson, unfortunately, out of contention. But those other guys, all they need is a breakout race, and they're going to be able to break into the championship.
Yeah, and guys that I'm looking at need to really have a good run tonight. Ivan Garcia, he's 3 points back. Jeff T. Martin, he's 4 points back. Jeff Martin, he's running in the 3rd position right now, or the 4th position now. So if he can have a good run tonight, he can battle his way back in there, and that would mean that William Locklear, Shane Parrish, Vernon Markheim, Judd Danielson, Tyler Chalk, those guys all need to have pretty decent runs if Jeff T. Martin can maintain where he is all night.
Looking at Shane Parrish in the number 81 machine, unfortunately, excuse me, I didn't see him in the running order. He's running in the 6th spot. So a pretty solid effort at the moment. I know it's still early, but if he could just finish in that position, because he got Ivan Garcia, Jeff T. Martin, and Chad Payne. Ivan Garcia is currently running in the 20th position, last of the drivers who are on track. Chad Payne in 15th. So he's kind of going to have to, just kind of stay up there, and he'll be able to get up into the top 12.
Looking for side-by-side battles, but most of these guys have single-filed out. Looks like the 24 machine of Eric Stanford battling it out with the 15 of Jeff T. Martin for the 4th position there. Jeff Martin looks like he might slide back another spot in the 5th position. Eric Stanford almost clear as they head down to turn number 1. Should be able to get clear headed out of turn number 2. And now Jeff T. Martin falls into the clutches of that number 81 machine of Shane Parrish. So I jinxed him a little bit. He's sliding back, and hopefully he can stay up where he is, because a lot of the guys that he needs to beat by 5 or 6 positions are right behind him.
Martin's one of the new colors on the 6-pack, number 15. Jake Silverado is a little bit newer paint scheme for that driver. Gets passed now on the inside by Shane Parrish, one of the Aegis conglomerate drivers in the number 81 machine. He now moves up into the top 5. He's now going to go after Eric Stanford, a pretty much teammate of his in the 24 machine. And Steel Motorsports Toyota Camry is going to work his way. He's in 4th, chasing down for Mike Markheim, who is having one heck of a run here, Curtis. Starting in 8th up to 3rd within 12 laps.
And here goes Ray Richer making a move below the number 1 truck of James Somke. They're door-to-door headed down to turn number 1, and Ray Richer just clears them, headed out of turn number 2, going to be able to pull it up to that wall and then get down on the dogleg, use the whole track there. And now Sean Kalis looking below James Somke. So James Somke's had lots of action around him to start this race, the opening 15 laps. He's, I think we've talked about him 3 or 4 times already. We've seen him making passes, getting past, so hopefully he can make his way up inside the top 5 or 10 and have himself a good run.
Currently a battle for the lead going on as these drivers going into turn number 3. Blake Griffith now on the back bumper of Tyler Chalk and Vernon Markheim closing in on the both of them. So a three-way battle for the lead between the 07, the 7, and the 33 here on lap number 14. Coming on to 15. Going back through your field just a little bit, let's update you as this battle starts to kind of heat up just a little bit. We got a battle looking around the racetrack to see if anybody's fighting for position. We do see Chad Payne, a couple of these guys back here. Ralph Vandervorst is actually attacking the back bumper of Sean Kalis in the 45. That's a battle for the 13th spot to go into the dog leg. Kalis down to the bottom. You got to watch out when you go down there. Not really racing single file. It's a pretty good way to gain a little bit of time. You're trying to pull away from somebody. But if you're racing side by side, Curtis, that entrance turn 3 gets tight very quickly.
Yeah, that's the problem with the open dog leg. You all of a sudden there's room for 10 trucks wide, and then it funnels back out, and you can barely fit 3 being careful. So it's the different element than most other tracks have, having that big flat surface. I don't even know how wide it is, but I'd like to know the number because of number of feet or meters that it is, because that's a lot of extra racing surface to play with than what the old Phoenix International Raceway had. And yeah, it's just it's one of my personal favorites anyway. I'm not the best at it, but I like it just because of that open dog leg.
Back up front, pass for the second position. Vernon Markheim moves up into the second spot with Blake Griffith moving back into third. And Blake Griffith now under fire from Eric Stanford and Shane Parrish, who've now caught the top 3. At least the top 2 have pulled away. Now Tyler Chalk getting ready to encounter a little bit of lap traffic. Chase contender. Well, I did see Ivan Garcia up there a little bit earlier, but he may have pulled off the racetrack, or something may have happened to the 72 machine. No, he is down on the bottom, so the 72 machine's slow on the apron. Looks like he's coming to pit road, so update on the 72, that tired ride of Ivan Garcia. Everybody's favorite old man pulling into pit road here early.
And Eric Stanford just passed Blake Griffith for the 3rd position. And Shane Parrish is right on their back bumper. It looks like he lost a little bit of momentum coming off of turn number 2 that last time. But Jeff T. Martin looks like he might be making his way back up towards these top 3. And putting his name back inside the conversation. We're only on lap 20, and I'm sure these guys can go around... I'm not even sure how far they could go on fuel. I'm guessing 75 laps-ish.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be close. It'll pretty much come down to a 2-stop race if they maintain under green flag. Let's go back to your battle there for the 3rd position. Eric Stanford had it last time by, but now when they come back to the stripe here, Blake Griffith has caught it back. So the crossover move for that 3rd spot as Eric Stanford is going to try and run him back down with his teammate right on the back bumper. 2 out of the 3 Aegis cars who did try and start tonight's race. Eric Stanford trying to get back to his back bumper, lets off a little bit early. He's going to let that 7 overrun his entry. Now he's going to get back to the gas. And Curtis, that's really the real challenging part about here at Phoenix. I mean, of course, you raced there last year in the trucks. It's waiting to pick up the gas because you have no banking to save you in 3 and 4. And if you get back to the gas too early, it's going to get tight. It's going to ruin your lap.
Yeah, it really does get tight, and then you get so much wheel into it that it just wants to snap around loose, and there's not that much room to save it on that front stretch. So it's a little bit of a different story coming out of turn number 2. Lots of room to save it down through the dog leg, but a lot of the times you get a lot more of a tight condition there, and it doesn't snap loose quite as badly coming out of 2, but just because of there being a little bit more banking than what the front stretch has. But Vernon Markheim looks like he is closing the gap on Tyler Chalk for the lead. It was 0.7 of a second that last time by, and I don't know if Tyler Chalk had a little bit of a bobble, but it doesn't look like 0.7 of a second this time by to me. We'll see what the gap is. Looks like 0.5 of a second this time by, so Vernon Markheim gained 0.2 that last lap. Keep an eye on that and see if Vernon can continue to chop away at that lead. Behind them, Shane Parrish trying to do something to get by Eric Stanford, but just sitting there pretty much for the time being, waiting for Eric to make a mistake.
Markheim running 3 points to the good coming into tonight here at Phoenix. If he can just stay in that position, he'll be locked into the final race at Homestead. I mean, this is a really good run for Vernon because he's been having a lot of bad luck lately. Running inside the top 10, but unfortunately just having some bad luck toward the end of these races and toward the middle. He doesn't really have time to get back up, make up a few points. So Vernon having a really good run. He's now closed it in. Oh, that's about 2 car lengths between the top 2. So this could get interesting very quickly here, Curtis.
Yeah, I think within the next lap or two, he'll be to the bumper and trying to make a move for the lead. But to your point, I think the only real goal for this race is to just try and make it through to Homestead. You got 2 races left. Yeah, you want to try and get a win, but you want that to be it. You don't want to risk it and not have a chance to win the championship next week, because you don't need to win the race to win the championship. You just need to be the highest finisher of those 12 drivers that have the chance to win it. So it's really all it's about is having a solid finish here tonight and getting through to Homestead.
Battle still going on. We go back through your pack here as this battle kind of evens out here. We got a battle for the 7th position between 7th and 8th. Mark Jackson, Jeff T. Martin, a couple of teammates. New paint schemes for both those drivers, going a little bit on the white side here at Phoenix under the lights as those drivers battling for inside the top 7. Looks like Jeff's losing just a little bit there on exit as he comes off of turn number 2. He's going to dive it down to the dog leg here at Phoenix. Mark Jackson's going to maybe complete that pass. He got a good run there on the outside. Jeff T. Martin did. That's one thing I'm seeing, Curtis. A lot of these guys are charging that exit or charging the entry in turn number 3, and it's actually paying off because Jeff T. Martin actually beat him to the line.
Yeah, if you charge it too hard though, the back end will start to come around on you, and when you're side by side, you don't want that. You get into the other guy, but they're still battling into turn number 3, and it looks like Mark Jackson was the one who sailed it in a little bit deeper that last time. Jeff T. Martin actually got pretty tight, washed up the racetrack. He's going to fall back into that 8th position.
You guys, I don't know if you noticed, but the 17 of Gary Sexton, who I think had the points lead coming into the race tonight, he had to serve a penalty and start from pit road. He is all the way back in 19th position, and he's not too far away from going a lap down. He is looks like he had a good qualifying time, but if we don't get a quick caution for him to get back up and catch up, he could be in jeopardy of losing a lot of points tonight.
Just made the pass on the 9 machine of Chad Payne in turn number 2. So now he's going to go after Jeremy Crandall, who is now running in the 17th position in front of them. He's still losing time, 18 seconds, so those leaders are coming. Currently, the only driver 1 lap down is Ivan Garcia. Still caution free here, 30 laps into it. Losing it on the 1/3 distance mark already, so these guys getting it done here early, getting it done quickly.
Yeah, it looks like Ivan Garcia had some issues with his truck. He has retired from the race.
Oh, so that looks like Ivan Garcia will not be competing for a championship at Homestead, Miami next week. Unfortunate for that number 72 machine. I think he came into this race 3 points back, if my memory serves me correctly. And yeah, I don't think finishing the race here tonight, third to last place actually, is going to be enough to push him through. So
that's going to help a couple of guys. Jeff Martin, who was 4 points back, and Chad Payne, who was 6 points back. Both of those guys have got a shot. It looks like to me, guys, you might have already talked about it. Sorry for my late joining the party, but the only way Mark Jackson, who started the race 57 points back, the only way he's going to transfer for a shot at this championship is to win this race tonight, but he does have a chance.
Want to mention, while we were sitting here, no battles on the racetrack, this is the Ad Pro 150. Forgot to mention that at the top of the broadcast. A little bit crazy in the early going, but now we're underway. We do have a broadcast, not what we're used to, but it will do the job here tonight at Phoenix International Raceway. It's the sponsor on Gary Sexton's machine, along with Dirty Air Studios. So that driver, the number 17 machine, now currently in 17th. 2 spots from being off the lead lap as these drivers start to close in, only losing about a half a tenth a lap here, Curtis. So he's not that slow. If he could just kind of catch a caution, or maybe even just use a little bit of pit strategy early to kind of make up some time.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing, sorry about that, Curtis, is these guys are absolutely doing an incredible job. Lap 34 looks like, maybe further along than that, as they are clean. Go ahead, Curtis. I'm going to get some details on AdPro in just a minute.
I was just thinking, do you think that we're 35 laps into this run? I'm just looking at Jeff T. Martin's times. His fastest lap of the race was 27.5. They're running 28.0 still right now. Qualifying time was 27.1. So basically, they're running a second off of what their fastest lap times can be. Do you think any of these guys will try and add an extra pit stop in there and see if the tires pay off?
I think some of these guys might try. You know, if they don't have any other shot at getting the win, they might have to do pit strategy. Absolutely, Curtis.
10 laps from the 100 distance mark here. Lap number 38, still green flags, so 17 minutes underneath a clean racetrack. And everybody's position pretty much stabilized. It looks like actually Eric Stanford's fallen back. We did cover him. He was running at 4th behind the number 7 machine of Blake Griffith, now running in the 6th spot. His teammate Shane Parrish has gotten around William Locklear earlier, and now Parrish is going after the number 7 machine of Blake Griffith here. Coming out of turn number 4, good run. Not going to take the advantage. He's actually going to go to the inside, and oh, Gary Sexton, unfortunately, throughput, he actually has disconnected. So unfortunately, connection issues on the 17 machine. So that's going to end his hopes for any sort of kind of victory here tonight.
Yeah, pretty much does. And I think he came into this race good on points, but
he came in 21 to the good, so yeah, he was locked in.
Yeah, he is pretty much locked in with that, so see if he can get back in here and at least make up some more of those laps. Looks like he just did reconnect, so he'll be able to get back out there, but he's already 4 laps down, so there's no way he's going to get all of those back, and he's still going laps down as he tries to get back buckled up.
And he's going to have to tow. While we were talking about that, Shane Parrish, he did go to the inside of the number 7 machine of Blake Griffith. And Shane Parrish, Chris, I don't know if you've been noticing this, but he has got to be the master at the first, stage of a race. It's always Shane Parrish. He saves his stuff early, and then he charges up to the field right before the first pit stop. Now, he's kind of been screwed by strategy a lot this year. Pitting early, pitting late. He just can't find the right formula. But the first stage, of the race before the first pit stop, he's always the driver to look out for.
And it looks like he is closing the gap on second place driver Vernon Margheim, who has fallen back quite a bit off the lead driver of the 07 of Tyler Chalk. Currently 1.7 seconds back last time by at the line, this time by at the line. It looks like Margheim is scored still 1.7 seconds back, but Shane Parrish closed the gap a little bit, 2.1 seconds down to 2 seconds, so Shane Parrish might be a little bit faster than our leader right now of Tyler Chalk. And yeah, it looks like Parrish is going to want to try and make the outside lane pass, judging by how he came out of the corner there. It looked like he almost thought he was going to be able to get to Margheim's outside that last straightaway, but this time looks like he gets the run to the inside, looking to the bottom in turn number 1. They'll go door to door coming out of turn number 2. Margheim looks like he gets on the gas first. Will the dogleg pay off for Shane Parrish? Shorter way around. It looks like Margheim's able to stay clear for now and keep the 81 truck in his rearview mirror.
Good exit coming off of 2 for the number 33 machine. 2 chase contenders going at it here, with another one waiting in the wings in the 7 machine of Blake Griffin. Meanwhile, Tyler Chalk continuing to pull away bit by bit. The gap's kind of stabilized just a little bit for these guys.
Oh, and it looks like Shane Parrish got a big run coming out of turn number 2 that time. Pulls it way down on the dogleg. Almost gets clear. He gets clear before he even hits turn number 3. Big move for second place by Shane Parrish.
That's an excellent piece of driving from that 81 Serpro machine. Happy to have him in the series. This year he's looking awesome. Hopefully he's going to be a big contender for the championship next year. If not this year, we still got one big race to go. But real quick, guys, I want to give you a little bit of information on our sponsor. Like you said, Gabe, AdPro. This is the AdPro 150. AdPro out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. We have been driving traffic to businesses across the nation since 2012. Give us the green light and we will take your business further. They have earned the Enterprise Best Advertising Agencies in Colorado Springs 2017.
Shane Parrish now encountering some lap traffic. He's caught Tyler Chalk by about a 10. So he's actually bringing the rest of your top 5 pretty much with him. Except for William Locklear in the number 5 spot. But he's starting to come into his own, along with Eric Stanford, who's following right behind him, and Mark Jackson, who, as Robert said earlier, his only chance of making the championship round is winning tonight's race. So he's going to have to, he's got his work cut out for him in that number 3 machine.
Looks like Tyler Chalk still leading by 2.1 seconds, and Vernon Markheim has fallen back about half a second off of Shane Parrish. Shane Parrish's bumper, so he's falling into the clutches of Blake Griffith, and actually I was looking for Jeff T. Martin. 8th place is actually 8.8 seconds back off the lead, so these guys are pretty spread out right now.
Watch for these guys to come to pit road. Looking at the quarter distance mark, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have the free pizza giveaway. I just remembered that since not too many people are watching here. We've only got a couple of people watching. But thank you for joining us. I mean, we got 6 people watching in the stream at the moment. I want to thank all of you for watching us here on Kevin Fetty TV.
Kevin Fetty TV.
1.7 seconds to gap. Shane Parrish is coming now. What kind of gap will he have toward the end of this thing? Because if these guys are going to start pitting here soon, as Tyler Chalk's actually coming to pit road, so he's going to answer my question. And the number 07 machine will be the first of your lead lap drivers to come onto pit road. And that will give Shane Parrish the lead. And if Shane was smart, he would come down to pit road this time by. Does not want to get that gap any higher than it needs to be.
Yeah, you're going to lose a lot of time, even just a lap or two short pitting, but like I said, I'm not sure if these guys can make it to lap 75 or not, but if they can, that's another strategy they could use. And like I said earlier in the broadcast, I wasn't sure if somebody would try and do 2 pit stops instead of 1, even if they could make it on 1 run, and see if the tires pay off. And like I said, I'm not sure if they could make it to lap 75, but Tyler Chalk comes to pit road on lap 50, and it looks like his plan is to come to pit road again on lap 100 and just divide the race up into thirds.
Yes, pretty much everybody guaranteed to make it on 1 more stop, because it looks like some of these guys have a little bit more in the tank. Blake Griffith now coming to pit road. He did lead 1 lap. Now William Locklear in the Monster Energy Chevy Silverado. He's out on the racetrack at the moment in the lead with Eric Stanford and Jeff T. Martin in tow. Andrew Kessler, the 3rd of the HS Motorsports drivers. I forgot about him in the Shep Andes, number 98. He's following in the racetrack right now on the 4th spot. Blake Griffin, he's pulling into his stall. Now who's going to take the lead here whenever we get off of pit road? Because I'm looking here, looking. Tyler Chalk currently in turn number 1. Where is Shane Parrish? He's still on pit road. Just now pulling into his pit stall, actually, so that is fortunate. I'm looking to see where timing and scoring kind of sorts out here, so just hold on just a second here. Lap number 53 still caution-free, so we might have the potential of going the full distance here, Curtis.
Yeah, and Tyler Chalk was scoring a lap down. He's coming into turn number 1 here, so Shane Parrish should be coming out. And it looks like Shane Parrish gets out in front of the 07 machine. I see him coming back up onto the track in turn number 3 there, so Shane Parrish might cycle back into the lead here when everything cycles through. And Gary Sexton, I think, might have actually, sorry, I forgot that he disconnected. I was gonna say Gary Sexton may have short pitted and done the same thing, got himself in front of Tyler Chalk, but
well, Robert,
unfortunately,
can I add something real quick?
Yes, sir.
Well, if we don't have a free pizza giveaway, can me and Curtis have it?
No, actually, I just shared this new stream on Facebook. If you guys got a second to share it with your 25 million friends.
Let me just go ahead and stop you there.
Yeah, we might go ahead and get enough viewers. I'm definitely still offering the free pizza giveaway. You got a comment or text 919-883-7497, and we're not going to give you the halfway. We're going to give you the lap 125 tonight, since we're a little bit late on the broadcast. So you got all the way to 25 laps to go before the race is over to get your pick in. Only choose one driver, and the first driver who successfully predicts the winner of this race by lap 125 will win that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza. If not, I'll be eating it tomorrow night with my family.
Like I said, Curtis, a couple of laps ago, Shane Parrish just lost a ton on pit entry, pit exit. And unfortunately, the driver in the Navy at number 81, he is the final driver one lap down in 17th. Meanwhile, Tyler Chalk just fought his way back on the lead lap.
Oh yeah, you're right. I thought that Shane Parrish did a good job on pit road or something and got himself up ahead of Tyler Chalk, but he's almost a lap behind him then. Andrew Kessler's still out on the racetrack though, as is Ray Richard, James Somke, Judd Danielson, Sean Kalis, Jeremy Crandall. They've all yet to pit, so another 15 laps and these guys can make it on one stop instead of two.
Oh, Tyler Chalk in the 07, he's sideways. What happened there? Looks like the 07 caught the apron in turns 1 and 2, and it sent him sideways. We stay under green, he kept it straight, but the 07 loses a lot of time. And that's going to let Vernon Markheim actually catch him. It looks like actually Mark Jackson's gotten around Markheim as well.
Yeah, that's going to hurt those tires too, and he's stuck with them for quite a while still, so not good for the 07 of Tyler Chalk. He's probably going to fall back here a little bit more than where he is.
Yeah, I just looked at the replay, guys, and the 07 of Tyler Chalk did an incredible job of saving that truck. He got a little bit more on the apron coming out of turn 1 than you normally want to get, and he's definitely going to have some tire wear he did not want to have.
So Andrew Kessler currently running up front. He's actually now just coming onto pit road here on lap number 60. That's going to put Ray Richard, everybody's favorite underdog, using his paint scheme that was on his little local super truck, number 44, out front. Looks like he may be coming to pit road this time by, but he gets the one lap lead. That would put Sean Kalis up into the lead, who is also not pit just yet.
Yeah, so it looks like Ray Richard bringing his truck to pit road. See what Sean Kalis does. Still out on the track though. At this point I don't think anybody can make it till lap 77. Sorry, I have the hiccups, till lap 75, but just judging by Ray Richard and Sean Kalis coming down, I think they would go to lap 75 if they could make it and split it up. But
I'm actually looking at timing and scoring at the moment. Mark Jackson is the leader of the guys who have pitted so far. So Mark Jackson, Vernon Markheim, Tyler Chalk, Blake Griffith, and Eric Stanford are your top 5 of the guys who have pitted. Drivers still to pit: Sean Kalis, Jeremy Crandall, who is also still on the racetrack, and Ray Richard just now coming off of pit road. That's actually going to put Ray, I picked up actually a couple of positions here. Might be running inside the top 10. You're going to have to wait for timing and scoring to cycle around.
Oh, and the 45 of Sean Kalis, he looks like he had some contact.
45 of Kalis.
And the 9 of Chad Bain. I think Kalis must have slowed down coming into pit road, and
yeah,
Chad
didn't
Payne
call
just got
coming
right
to
in
pit
the back
road.
of him.
Didn't make a call out, I don't think, coming to pit road. So the number 45 machine got dumped, locked down the brakes, kept it going. So we stay green here, and he's going to come down the pit road, but unfortunately has a lot of damage on that number 45 machine. So that's going to put Jeremy Crandall out front, and he's now going to pit. So Jeremy Crandall, also another one of those drivers trying to get into the chase, and I believe he's actually pretty safe. I'm going to have to look at the standings again.
Yeah, it looks like the 45 doesn't have too much damage on this short track. Real quick, Domino's driver profile. Sean Kalis is from Brighton, Illinois. His team, I think now, is Aegis Motorsports. He's been in sim racing, looks like, for 10 years. He has got a Daytona win, a K&N National Series win. He's also got one B-Class Open win at Talladega. He wants to give special thanks to his family, wife Barb, son Troy, Talarico Signs and Designs, his friends at Laid Back Outlaws iRacing Group, and love to see the paint jobs on his car, his trucks. Tonight looks like he's driving that beautiful, as always, Marathon Petroleum Products Toyota Tundra. Good for Sean.
That's going to put Mark Jackson in the lead. He's going to cycle him, and he's actually pulling away from Vernon Markheim. So your top two completely different. Tyler Chalk now being caught by Blake Griffin in the number 7 machine. So the 07 and 7. The Southeast Motorsports 07 getting caught at DC Solar machine. So your top 5, Mark Jackson, Vernon Markheim, Tyler Chalk, Blake Griffin, and William Walkley are your top 10. Derek Stanford, Jeff T. Martin, Jack Watts, Andrew Kessler, and Ralph Vandervoort, who's actually should be your biggest mover. It's actually a tie between Jack Watts and Ralph. Picked up, Jack started in the 17th position, running now 8th, and Ralph started in the 19th, running in the 10th spot. It looks like we got a battle here for, that was William Locklear trying to get past the 85 machine of Judd Danielson, who is your first driver, 1 lap down.
Yeah, let me jump in here real quick. Mark Jackson, we talked about early in the broadcast, he started this race 57 points out. The only way Mark Jackson's going to make it to the championship round of 12 in Homestead in 1 week is to win this race. Tonight he is driving that over-the-top paints. Dames, I can't read the back of this truck, Dames and Demons. Chevy Silverado number 3, Mark Jackson Domino's driver profile real quick. He is from Wichita, Kansas. His team is Over the Top Paints, actually Southeast Motorsports. He also has another sponsor of the Top Paints and PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. He's been 17 years in the sim racing. That's why he is so good. He has a lot of local street class bracket racing, 40 wins and 770 starts on iRacing, 200 top 5s. Those numbers are a lot higher now, I'm sure. And he wants to give special thanks to John Hendrick, the unbelievably great painter of Over the Top Paints. Also his fiance, who is Kristen Phillips. And Southeast Motorsports, good to see him up front. Hopefully he can hold off and get this win and be a miracle win to get him into the championship round of 12 in Homestead.
He's only got just over 25 laps, closing in on halfway point here. Just 30 minutes into it, so it's starting to, laps are clicking off here. 72 laps. Green flag here, not without incident, but nobody's spun it around just yet. We're still under the green flag here. 1.7 seconds, the gap actually. He's pulled away. He's coming off the pit road from under a second now to almost 2. So I'll tell you what, that 3 of Mark Jackson, he's doing what he needs to. Now the question is going to start wearing out his tires. He's now caught a little bit of lap traffic. And it looks like Vernon Markheim actually got a battle for second between Markheim and the 07 of Tyler Chalk down the back straightaway.
And if Mark Jackson can make it into Homestead, that'll be huge. He, I'm not sure how many wins he has this year, but he has multiple, and I think he's missed the last 2 races, so all of this round he's missed, and that's why he's 57 points back, and looking good right now. 1.7 seconds ahead of the next guy behind him, Vernon Markheim.
.788 the gap now. It's gone just a little bit more, about a 10th the past 2 laps. Now starting to close in just a little bit more here. So Tyler Chalk still beating the back bumper off of Markheim. That's going to allow Blake Griffin in the CCR number 7 machine to catch him as well.
Still 13 trucks on the lead lap as we speak, and it looks like Mark Jackson's trying to make it 12 and put James Sonke a lap down. Sonke looks like he's actually putting up a pretty good fight to try and keep that number 3 machine behind him should a caution come out and keep himself on the lead lap. He's not giving it to him easy. Looks like Mark Jackson does get the lane below him, and that should pretty much give it up. And actually, no, it looks like he's gonna make him work for it. So James Sonku's doing all he can to stay on the lead lap right now, and a caution is out.
Caution is out just past the halfway point. Gonna have to look at it.
It's Wesley Whitfield. He rolls over the start-finish line on the front stretch.
Wow. Unfortunate. So one Southeast Motorsports driver actually hinders another. The 71 machine comes off of turn number 4, hits the outside retaining wall, and as he hits the inside, the car flips over. The car actually, the funny part is, the car never actually got sideways. So I guess that kind of proves the point that a flipping car will trigger the caution, because he kept it straight the entire time. Good piece of driving.
And the question is, do you think these guys can make it once they're going to come down pit road, I believe, right here, and they're going to be able to save fuel under caution for a few laps? Do you think they can make it to the end if we go have another long green flag run?
If they can't. They win about 10, 11 laps. I don't see them going an extra another 15.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to get 70 laps, or maybe 67 laps out of the tank here. They're going to be able to save and not consume much at all under caution here. Maybe just 0.2 gallons, maybe. And
either way, these guys are coming to pit road. So Mark Jackson will be your first driver to hit his pit stall. He's going to get the right side. Now left side's going up. See if he can beat these guys coming off the pit road. He peels out of the pit box. He's going to hug that pit lane, try and get rid of as much time as he can. Here he comes. Jacks are dropping, and the 3 is going to win the battle off the pit road. Your top 3 are going to remain the same. Top 5 remain the same here. Coming off of the banking. I want to remind everybody who is watching and who will watch in the near future, this is the Ad Pro 150 live here from Phoenix International Raceway. A little bit of an impromptu broadcast here on Kevin Fetty TV, as I'm starting to call it. These guys, you know, unfortunately, Michael D'Amico, a little bit of power trouble, so he's not able to broadcast here tonight. So we took over. Kevin Fetty doing a great job running the cameras. He's doing the best he can, and we're bringing the race you see to you tonight. Just past the halfway point, and we got our first caution.
Yeah, I'm going to give a real more detailed name of this stream. It is Marcolian Live, M-A-R-C-O-L-I-A-N. I think that's Kevin Fetty's trade name or YouTube name. We love it, and we appreciate Kevin Fetty, all he does for us with the website. This would not happen without a half a dozen guys, if not more, including Gabriel Wood, Curtis Young, all the admins. I'll name them later, but including Kevin Fetty for his help to jump in tonight to help us out.
Gonna update you a little bit on your chase standings while we're sitting here under caution. We got a few seconds. So I want to remind you, James Ross, who is unfortunately not in the race anymore, he is locked in along with the 6 of Gerald Campbell. Those 2 drivers are locked into the championship round at Homestead. Then Gary Sexton, Jeremy Crandall, Jack Watts, and Blake Griffith, and Andrew Kessler. They range from 21 points to 14 points to the good. So if they just get a solid finish, they just have to pretty much finish on the lead lap, and they're pretty much guaranteed a spot in the chase, especially drivers like Gary Sexton and Jeremy Crandall, as only 20 drivers did start tonight's event. Then you get to Tyler Chalk, Judd Danielson, Vernon Markheim, Shane Parrish, and William Lockley. They are good coming into tonight, but they are 3 points, 5 points, and 6 points ahead of the cutoff. Tyler Chalk with 6 points, Judd Danielson 5 points ahead, and Vernon, Shane, and William all 3 points to the good. Meanwhile, Ivan Garcia, who is unfortunately out, he was the first driver to come into the garage area. Jeff T. Martin, who's having a decent race. Chad Payne, who's running near the back of the field. And then you have Mark Jackson, who for somehow he's picked up from 15th. He was one of the final drivers to qualify. He's now in the lead, doing a great job now on new tires. That yellow spoiler number 3 machine trying to get into the final round at Homestead.
And Mark got a huge jump on that restart as he leads him down through turn 1 and 2. As he goes to the dog leg, who's going to take it and who is not?
Like
Great.
Shane Parrish battling side by side with Jack Watts right now. It's a battle for the 10th position, I believe.
Single file up through. Oh, Aaron Stanford gets a little bit sideways. They hang on to it. Great save from the 24 machine. Don't know if we can get a replay of that or not, but the 4 machine dove to the inside. Stanford didn't know he was going to come down, and Stanford, he slipped the entirety of turn 22.
Well, looks like he got a little bit loose entering turn number 3 that time, too.
Yeah, so that number 24 machine out of control, but he keeps the wheels under him. So the number 24 machine now running in the 7th position. Mark Jackson continuing to pull away. Vernon Margheim and Tyler Chalk in 2nd and 3rd. Coming out of turn number 4, Jackson, 7/10 of a second last time by. What's it going to be? 8/10 of Jackson pulling away, closing in on 100 laps. We're at lap number 85. Still another pit stop to do before the end of this thing.
Yeah, and the thing is they can almost make it, so they're another 5 or 10 laps, and they're definitely inside their window to make it for the rest of the race, and that's really gives them a lot of leeway for what kind of strategy they want to make. I mean, they can pit in 10 laps, or they can pit in 45 laps, so it's really up to them.
Yeah,
where they think is...
yeah, they got a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, it's just up to them and where they think is going to put themselves in the best spot at the end to win, but you never know when a caution might fly, so Tyler Chalk looks like he almost put the bumper to the back of the 33 of Vernon Margheim there into turn number 1. Lost a lot of time coming out of 2, and he's got Blake Griffith on his back bumper.
Chase drivers your top 4 as Mark Jackson continues to pull away as these guys battling for the runner-up spot. As Curtis said, Vernon just getting the back bumper beat off of because the Tyler Chalk machine, he wants to get by. Not much damage in 33, so they've been pretty light hits, but I think as the night progresses just a little bit farther, we're running out of time here past the halfway point. Those hits will get just a little bit harder.
Hey guys, I ran a few laps in happy hour in this truck on this track, and we got some great weather conditions here. 69 degrees. Temperature has dropped 1 degree since the race started. The track is at 70, so there is a lot of grip here, gentlemen. And these trucks are running some of the fastest laps we've seen in a long time. My big question is, who that is not in the top 5 that's going to be able to make a great pit strategy move or call on pit road? Because I'm not sure if the left tires are wearing that much, guys. You can let us know. Curtis and Gabe, you've raced this track a lot more than I have in this kind of weather condition. I know it is a short track. I know it is Phoenix. Is there an option for these guys to just take right side tires on the last stop?
You can. I wouldn't. Because the way these guys are driving, I don't know. Actually, I'm trying to think. Because here is a good question, Robert. Is with the extra fuel, if these guys run it out to the end, because then they're waiting for a caution, so they're going to pretty much pit. Probably about 20 laps to go. I mean, you wouldn't have to take that much fuel, Curtis, and you wouldn't. It wouldn't have a lot of time to get caught. I don't know. Might want to do that. I mean, Mark Jackson could even do it, give himself a little bit of a buffer, because now Tyler Chalk has gotten by Vernon Margheim. It's 1.9 seconds the gap, so he's still pulling away.
Yeah, these guys are putting on an incredible show. They're being patient. As Vernon Margheim's looking back to the outside of the 07 Tyler Chalk, I don't think he can get it done. Tyler's got a little bit better truck at this point in the race. All these guys were taking this dogleg shortcut. And it looks like the 07 has got his sights set now on that number 1 position of Mark Jackson. And got to say, Mark Jackson's got to be one of the favorites here for an underdog. I tell you what, when we put this league together almost 10, 12 months ago, there were a lot of phone calls made. There were a lot of interviews made. A lot of guys we talked to. A lot of guys showed flash early on. But this number 3 truck, this beautiful dented fenders, number 22, Pad. You guys have to remind me of her name, the young lady who lost her life. She's on the hood of his truck. I think her name is Nikki. Mark Jackson and most all the Southeast Motorsports guys, they do an incredible tribute to Pad. People are getting distracted driving. And hopefully none of you people are driving right now while you're watching this race. If you are, that's fine. But Mark Jackson's a big underdog. Minus 57 coming into this race. I tell you what, got a lot of storylines tonight and the next week, 7 days of Domino's TYJ racing before it ends. And we crown 3 champions. And if Mark Jackson can pull off the win tonight and make that miracle victory and get into the round of 12 for Homestead next week in the trucks, that's going to be one kind of story that you want to see happen live.
Yeah, what kind of story would it be for who is basically our super speedway ace, Mark Jackson? He always runs up front, and he's always there at the end at the super speedway races. You know, he hasn't found much success on the 1.5, the short tracks. But what would it mean to miss so many races in this round and then come in and just dominate, you know, coming out of basically nowhere to win and get himself into the chase? And Tyler Chalk is actually catching him, but, you know, it's down to 1.4 seconds. But I tell you what, I think Mark Jackson might be able to hang on to this thing.
We got some hard charges in the back. We got the 7 of Blake Griffin trying to get around the 33 of Vernon Margheim. These guys are driving hard. It's hard to predict exactly. Oh, and he gets into him again, looks like. Oh, sorry. It's hard to figure out the exact braking points, and I think that's just a one-time deal.
So 2 laps away from the 100-lap mark here. 1 caution so far here at Phoenix. 20 drivers took the green flag. Currently 14 on the lead lap. 18 are currently on the racetrack. Wesley Whitfield, Ivan Garcia, the 2 drivers who are out. 4 laps down is Gary Sexton. 1 lap down, Judd Danielson, Sean Kalis, and Chad Payne. 15, 16, and 17 are on 1 lap down. 12 seconds from Jeremy Crandall to Mark Jackson, your leader, as Tyler Chalk is actually getting gapped again. So he's actually doing a great job. He's pulling away yet again, now to 1.6 seconds.
Yeah, I'm looking right now at the chase standings. Just trying to see where people are. And Gabriel looks like, I think the #1 seed, Gerald Campbell, he did get that win a couple weeks back. He is on his honeymoon. Congratulations to him. We got some other drivers who are just fighting. They are fighting to get into this race. We got Blake Griffin. He started the race 15 points to the good. Tyler Chalk 6 points to the good.
Now,
as
Robert,
we go down, yeah, go ahead.
I want to bring up something. I just thought about something. I want to go ahead and pull this up while I'm thinking about it. With Jackson leading and Jackson winning, that's going to pretty much leapfrog him out of the cellar of the point standings here for the drivers. So say William Locklear locks himself in on points, you know, he gets himself in, he has it high enough. But if Jackson comes from behind and wins this race, that's going to knock whoever that last driver is out. It's going to lock whoever, you know, wins in. So I tell you what, it's going to throw one heck of a wrench in. You got a lot of math to do here in the next few days.
Absolutely, that's a great point, Gabe.
Hopefully.
Yeah, right now we've got a beautiful formula that our good friend Kevin Fetty, who is streaming this race live right now, he's got the formula that puts all the numbers in, all the drivers in, the finishing positions, and kicks it out sometimes as quick as 5 minutes. The race is over, but you're absolutely right. William Locklear started the race 3 to the good. Shane Parrish 3 to the good, and Vernon Margheim 3 to the good. Even Judd Danielson 5 to the good. Tyler Chalk 6 to the good. If Mark Jackson wins this race, which it looks really good, he might. I'm not sure if he can make it to the end without pitting again or not, but he will automatically leapfrog to the top of the board as far as a win, and that's going to knock somebody, unfortunately, who is going to have their feelings hurt. They're going to be emotional, and hopefully these guys figure that out just like you and I figured it out, and they race a little bit harder or pull some more pit strategy to try to get a higher than a 10th or 8th place finish to lock themselves in, because it is definitely going to shake up the points if Mark Jackson holds on and wins this race. And I'll be honest, I'm voting for Mark Jackson. I can't win the pizza.
All right, Robert. Looks like we got a battle for the 4th position. Sorry, I'm looking at this. These guys racing hard for the top 5. Vernon Markheim continuing his slide back to the field. He was in 2nd, back to 3rd, got passed by Blake Griffith down to 4th. Now William Locklear moves up into the 4th position. Vernon Markheim down to 5th. Shane Parrish now on the back bumper with Eric Stanford in tow. So unfortunately, that 33 machine losing a lot of time. Meanwhile, Tyler Chalk is catching Mark Jackson, but it's closing in. Closing in on 40 laps to go, so we're going to be pitting here in the next few laps. And then actually, it looks like James Ross telling me it is Nikki Kellyini. Question the pronunciation of the last name. Kellyini was the young lady tragically lost that is on the hood of the 3 machines. So he's trying to take her to victory lane. He's doing one heck of a job to do that here in the late going. Closing in, 40 laps to go.
Yes, sir. So it looks like the guys who have to make a big run and finish up front are doing it right now. The 07 of Tyler Chalk. And let's focus in on that truck real quick. Tyler is driving that beautiful blue color, my favorite color, Southeast Motorsports, Toyota Tundra Southeast Motorsports. If you look behind him, he's got the Southeast Motorsports on the back, the Domino's TYJ logo, pad on the back. He is running exactly where he needs to be. If he finishes 2nd, he'll be locked in, no questions asked. Running in 3rd, we got Blake Griffith. He started the race, it looks like 15 points at the good. If he finishes in 3rd, he's good to go. William Locklear, he started, he's in 4th position right now, that number 4 truck. William started only 3 points to the good. So if he's able to finish in 4th position in that beautiful Monster Energy Chevrolet Silverado, he should make it into the championship round. Back in
looks like
5th,
Jackson's on pit road.
Oh yeah, we'll cover that pit stop real quick. Gabe, go ahead and let us know if he gets 2 tires, 4 tires, or just a splash of fuel.
That's going to have to wait and see. The gap was down to about half a second, so Mark Jackson, or no, it was about 1.9, I should say, look at it. But Jackson coming into his pit stop, he's going to come in, stop, and he's also got Tyler Chalk in the 07. So the 2 leaders are going to come in together. So the number 3 machine, right sides go up, 40 laps to go. Is he going to take? He's going to take left side, so let's check on Tyler Chalk. Right side's going up. Is he going to come off a pit road? 2 teammates there, both for Southeast Motorsports. Chalk has 4 tires as well. So here comes Mark Jackson. He's going to come off pit road. There they go, almost even coming out of the pits.
That sounds great. The Shane Pearson, that number 81. I think he is not in the chase circumstance right now, but he is racing for pride. He's trying to get a race win here at Phoenix. Is up to 3rd position. He is staying out on the track, which could hurt him. I think it hurt him last time on pit strategy, but he is right inside the 4 of William Locklear. They do give each other plenty of room going into the corner. We'll see which one of these guys pits first. Vernon Markheim in that 33 is in 4th right now. If he's able to maintain that position, he might be able, probably will be able to transfer into that championship round. Mark Jackson off pit road. It looks like he's recycled back in 12th, but he's going to have the new tires. It'll be interesting to see if he can make his way back up. Same thing for Tyler Chalk. And right now, Andrew Kessler, hadn't talked about him a whole lot tonight. He's in 6th position. Looks like he's coming down pit road. He is bringing that Aegis Motorsports Chef Andy's Toyota Tundra 98 into the winning picture here. He could easily have a win depending on how the last pit stops go.
We have to wait and see here. So we're going to have to wait and see what your order is going to be. Tyler Chalk actually, trying to look at the gap here. Mark Jackson is actually Jackson's actually coming back to pit road.
Sounds like he's out of gas.
Oh no! Oh no! Heartbreaker for the 3 of Mark Jackson. Gonna have to look and see at this. Gonna have to check this out. The 3 of Mark Jackson looking to get his way into the chase and out of fuel maybe. Car may be stumbling here, but the 3 comes to pit road.
That would actually absolutely be a heartbreaker for the 3 truck. He only sits there for about 3-4 seconds to get some fuel. The only thing that's going to save Mark Jackson now is going to be a caution, which we do not like to see, but a caution could happen.
Yeah, Robert, it looks like the 3 of Mark Jackson did not take fuel, so unfortunately he was going to run out of gas, so he had to come back down to pit road. And, oh, we got the 7 sideways coming onto pit road. The 7 of Blake Griffith trying to get as much as he could coming onto pit road, and he locks the rear tires up and just goes around, noses into the inside wall. Caution, not out. The 3 of Vernon Markheim is going to overtake him coming onto pit road. Have to wait and see where all this is going to sort out. A lot of stuff happening here in the late going.
Yeah, this is definitely going to change things up. Incredibly so.
Unfortunate for both of those drivers, 7 and the 3 of Mark Jackson, who we thought he was going to lock his way into the chase. So that's thrown a huge wrench into this one. Now, Shane Parrish still in the lead. How long is he going to wait to come to pit road, Mark Jackson? Pulling it into the garage area. Not going to make the 2017 final round of the championship for Homestead. So unfortunately an end of the season for the number 3 machine. But will Shane Parrish, what kind of strategy is he trying to pull? Stay out as long as possible and then come to pit road? 4 drivers have not pitted. Shane Parrish, William Locklear, Jeremy Crandall, and James Somke in the number 4 spot.
Looks like the 7 is taking the dog leg coming off of pit road. He definitely burned up those tires.
Well, just some heavy front end damage on the 7 machine. It's going to spell an end to that North Carolina driver's night. So 30 laps to go here. Going to be whenever Shane Parrish crosses the start-finish line. When will he come to pit road? 7/10 the gap, 8/10 almost, between him and William Locklear in the 4 machine. Tyler Chalk continuing to catch these guys. He's about to unlap himself here. He's to the back bumper of Shane Parrish in turns 1 and 2. 30 laps to go. Can he pull it off? Can he come from behind and get up into the lead? Vernon Markheim's got a little bit of damage, so he wasn't able to get up front. But Jack Watts, can he get it done? Can Tyler Chalk get it done?
I know one thing, Tyler is definitely racing as hard as he can. He's definitely looking to get his win tonight to lock himself into that group. These drivers are definitely putting on a show tonight. I don't think we've seen a race at Phoenix with this few cautions ever.
Yeah, I think the last time we came here early in the season, it was a pretty much wreck fest. The guys couldn't keep the cars out from under them. Good setup and a combination with a light field. Guys racing for the championship. Kind of turning into a good race here. The 07 still on the back bumper. The 81 machine of Shane Parrish. He's now going to dive it down into the dog leg. So he's going to try and unlap himself by the time he gets to the start-finish line this time by. And he will. He's going to dive it in there. When will Shane Parrish come to pit road? Still out on the racetrack.
Yeah, I think Shane is either waiting for a caution or is there an outside possibility because he waited really, really late on the first 2 cautions, I think, or the first 2 pit stops. Can Shane stretch this thing out to get the win?
The caution threw that out of the window because they all pitted at the same time on, I think it was lap 75 or lap 80. So that threw that out the window.
So Shane's basically waiting for another caution.
Hopefully. That's what he's waiting for, basically. Or he's either waiting for a caution or he's going to try and run him down. But, we got 25 laps to go. He's not really going to have a lot of time whenever he does come to pit road to catch up to the 07.
That'd be the same story for the 73 Jeremy Crandall. I'm assuming he's waiting for a caution. Looks like Jeremy started in 21st. He's running second now. We also have James Somke started 9th. He's running 3rd. He could also be waiting for a caution. And do we have proof there, Gabe, that Tyler Chalk already pitted? Because we only have 4 trucks on the lead lap.
I watched him come to pit road. He came down to pit road at the same time as Mark Jackson. They both pitted together.
Gotcha. So once those top 4 make their pit stops, it's going to cycle everything back around, and we'll have quite a few more than 4 on the lead lap.
And we're just going to have to wait and see here. Inside 25 laps to go. Shane Parrish still on the racetrack, along with Crandall, Somke, and now Tyler Chalk on the lead lap. I believe we lost, who was it? Jeff T. Martin, who was still on the racetrack? It may have been.
No, he's still here? Matter of fact,
no, I'm saying he still hadn't come to pit road.
Gotcha, my bad.
But I think he may have come to pit road, I'm not sure. But either way, we're running out of time here, and so is Shane Parrish. If he's going to come to pit road, no, I think actually Jeff T. Martin is not the driver who is still on the racetrack. I do remember there were 4 left, but now we're down to 3 who have not come to pit road yet. 27 seconds the gap between Tyler Chalk and Shane Parrish. Is Parrish still out there? When will he come to pit road? This is getting to the point because we pitted with them having about 20 laps to the bad, basically. They had 20 laps to where they would need extra fuel. They would need 20 extra laps of fuel to make it to the end. We're closing in on 20 to go. Shane Parrish is running out of time, and I think this may be the lap or the next few laps he will come to pit road.
Yeah, I'm following the 15 truck of Jeff T. Martin and running number 6 position. He's got the 6 package up on his number 15 Chevy Silverado on the back, on the front. He's got the 6-pack, also beautiful red, white, and blue paint scheme, which is actually the 6-pack. Gabe, do you know anything about the 6-pack?
I have no idea. It's a good-looking paint scheme for the 15 machine, but no, I don't know the story behind the 6-pack.
We'll have to ask him about it. Maybe that's what he's going to have after the race is over. If he finishes in the top 3 and he's having a good run tonight, good for him.
I'm actually going to do a little bit of Google search.
That'll be fine. It does look like Shane Parrish is still circling around the track, not pitting yet, and I think he might actually be trying to save some fuel.
Looks like it was actually a Kenny Rogers movie.
Yeah, I think I do remember that.
Released in 1982. So yeah, he played a race car driver. Starring Diane Lane. Yeah, or Diane Lane. But yeah, looks like a... Oh, caution! Caution! Didn't even notice it. Gonna have to wait and see what the cause of... Gonna have to wait and see what it was for, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a second issue with the number 4 truck of William Locklear, and he's been forced to retire his truck from the race.
Ford dove it to the inside. He was running inside the top 8, and an aggressive move ends his and Eric Stanford's night. The 4 machine of William Locklear goes up into the outside wall along with the 24 machine. So that just saved Shane Parrish. Oh my gosh, Robert, what are we going to do?
I tell you what, some of these guys are going to come down and get a splash of fuel right side tires. Some guys are going to gamble and get 4 tires. Does it look like Shane Parrish is on pit road already?
Yep, Shane Parrish along with Tyler Chalk, and it looks like Jeremy Crandall staying out on the racetrack. But, yeah, this is going to be interesting, though. 1 machine also on pit road. This is going to be interesting to see. A lot of these guys are going to take the wave around and get back onto the lead lap. So Shane Parrish in the lead with 15 laps to go. He's going to come off of pit road, your leader. And now Jeremy Crandall, who's trying to make the chase. He stayed out to lead a lap. We're going to to look here. Where can I look back at my standing sheet to see where the number 73 is? Looks like he was actually locking himself in. He had a 20 or 19-point gap coming in, and now the 73 machine is going to come. He's going to have one extra lap of fuel, but he is going to lead a lap. So the 73 machine is going to lead a lap here for the 73 machine of Jeremy Crowder. Wow, I repeated myself a couple times there. Starting to lose it. It's been a long night. Not as long as we're used to. These guys having a good night for the caution's sake. Only 2 to this point. So your updated running order is these guys. We're going to come to the one to go should this time by. As we've got Jeff T. Martin, Vernon Markheim, Ray Richer, Eric Stanford, Andrew Kessler, and Ralph Vandervoorst lined up behind the pace car. So they should get the wave around this time by.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick... do we have 60 seconds for a break, Gabe, or not?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
We don't even have any commercials, so we don't really need them.
Hey, no problem. You're watching the AdPro 150 fans and everybody listening to this. Make sure you stay tuned. AdPro has signed an inked deal to be one of the major sponsors for 2018 for the this league that's going to be going forward. So you definitely want to make sure you stay tuned, and we'll give you all the details coming up.
So all these guys coming around the racetrack, they're going to be on old tires, but they will be back on the lead lap. A couple of these guys fighting to get into the 2017 chase. Others just trying to get a good finish, but the one-to-go signal has been given from the starter stand. So we're going to go back to racing with 15 laps to go here. Phoenix International Raceway, as Robert said, with the AdPro 150. Unfortunately, Curtis Young, we lost him a couple laps ago, didn't get a chance to mention it. Unfortunately, having some problems with his microphone, so he did cut out of here tonight. But it's a good thing I was here along with Robert McFarland, so we're able to keep the broadcast going. Tyler Chalk starting in the outside lane with Shane Parrish on the inside. They're going to go into turn number 1 this time by. Green flag in the air. Shane Parrish is going to take off, and that's going to leave him in the, or is going to leave the 07 in the dust as they go into turn number 1. And a 66 to Jack Watts started 17th. Where did he come from? Jack Watts up now into the 3rd position. These guys are going to fan out down the back straightaway all over everywhere. James Sonke in the number 1 machine. He's running in the 4th spot, getting passed by looks like the lap car of Gary Sexton. Sexton in the 5 lap down spot. He's now going to get clear, so he's going to try and get one of his laps back here in the late going. Jeremy Crandall in the 5th spot. Jeff T. Martin in 6th. But up front, let's see what this battle for the lead attempts. 3/10 of a second, about 4 car lengths the gap as they come off of turn number 2. Coming out of turn number 4, what are these guys going to do here down the back straightaway, or down the front straightaway, I should say. Robert, these guys doing one heck of a job, just racing cleanly. Just had a few incidents here tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm really impressed with how these guys are manhandling this track. Coming down to the end stages, they're all trying to gain every single position they can. The guys on the outside looking in, they know a couple of top drivers are out, so they were trying to take advantage and make their way in to the championship round of 12 at Homestead in 1 week.
Closing in, 10 laps to go. Next time by, or excuse me, from 2 laps from now. And that gap's coming down, so we're going to have a race here between Shane Parrish and Tyler Chalk. And Shane has something to fight for because that gap from the cutoff line, it's close here. He should be okay, but I would not take any chances here in case he has a little bit of problem here in the late going. But Jack Watson, the 66 machine, he's still running in 3rd.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier there, Gabe, and fans, the 81 truck Serpro of Shane Parrish, great addition to our league in 2017. He is racing for pride here. He is, actually I'm wrong. He was 3 points to the good entering the race. Obviously, winning the race will guarantee him a chance to race for the championship. But the 07 of Tyler Chalk, he was only 6 points to the good. So these guys up front, 1 and 2, are racing for pride. If nothing else happens, who's going to pull off this win tonight?
2.5 tenths the gap between your top 2 as we're coming just now. 10 laps to go, so 9 laps to go this time by. Your gap now the same as the 07 charges the entry into turn number 1, but the difference between catching and passing, it is huge. If the 07 can get to his back bumper, you bet he will beat it off till he gets that driver to the outside lane and the 81 machine to the outside lane. If he can get side by side with him, I think the 07's got a little bit quicker car. The problem is the 87 machine, or the 81 machine of Shane Parrish, he is one tough customer. Inside 0.2 of a second, the gap as they go into turn number 1.
Yes, and for all you fans wondering about the 66, he is looking good. If he finishes in third, he will absolutely race for the championship. Also back in the fourth position, Vernon Margheim, the 33, had issues just the last caution, but he is still looking good. He came into this race, it looks like 3 points to the good. He is still racing in that fourth position, so if he keeps that position, he'll definitely be locked in. And what happened to the 07?
Problems for the 07 machine. Yeah, what happened? It looks like maybe did he hit the apron again? No, he just locked up the brakes going into turn number 3. I didn't even notice that. I was looking back to the field to see if anybody was racing, but yeah, he just slid the tires through turns 3 and 4 and completely just lost this race, and that's going to put pretty much a nail in the coffin for Shane Parrish's race. That's going to let him run away with it, as he's now going to have to deal with Jack Watts, the 07 of Tyler Chalk will.
Yeah, it looks like the 81 of Shane Parrish, unless we have something we don't expect, is looking good for the win. As I was talking real quick about the playoff hopefuls, Blake Griffith started the race 15 points to the good. Right now, he is still running. I'm looking down the list, and I think he will absolutely make it to the playoff round. He's running in 13th. It's going to be close for him, but he was 15 to the good. I think he'll make it. We've also got the next driver that was close on the bubble, the Andrew Kessler machine, the 98. Looks like he is running in 7th. He'll be good to go to make it to the round of 12. Who else do you see?
I don't know, looking through the field, there's a lot of guys. It's just going to be an all-out fight. It just, who gets in, who stays out. Shane Parrish continuing to pull away here as Jack Watts and Tyler Chalk fight here with 3 laps to go. Shane Parrish looking for his first win. He's just, you know, the same thing happened. I was talking to Curtis earlier about the fact that Shane's always the driver on the initial run from the start to the first pit stop. He's always one of the faster guys to look out for. But as soon as the first stop happens, you know, he starts losing speed. You know, he just can't get the tires back under him. It happened again tonight. But through chance of fate, with 2 laps to go, the 81 machine still out front. 2 seconds separate he and Jack Watts, actually Tyler Chalk now, as the 66 has been passed back by the 07 machine.
Yeah, we got some very heavy battling back here, looks like, for 4th, especially 5th. 6th and 7th, Judd Danielson and Andrew Kessler are battling out for 5th and 6th. These guys both need to have a good run tonight. And not to forget about Ray Rich in the number 44.
Yep, but coming out into the backstretch now, white flag in the air. Shane Parrish now in the final lap, 2 more corners to go. And a 2017 final round chase spot is his, passing a couple more lap cars. But off of turn number 4, in the Diamond in the Desert, Phoenix International Raceway, Shane Parrish takes the Ad Pro 150, locking himself into the final round. Tyler Chalk finishes 2nd, Jack Watts 3rd, but it's all the 81 machines. Serve Pro definitely served the rest of the field, as Shane Parrish dominates the final few stages of tonight's race.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, Gabe, that was an incredible race there. A great race to the finish. Everybody was putting everything on the line they could. And this is going to shake up the points. We'll have to see where everybody stands. If you'll go through the top finishing order, I'll try to talk to these guys and get ready for interviews.
Already got them ready, so we just need to go through the finishing order. Top 3, Shane Parrish, Tyler Chalk, Jack Watts, Vernon Margheim, and Jeff T. Martin round out your top 5. So 3 Southeast Motorsports drivers in your top 5. Andrew Kessler, Ray Richter, Jeremy Crandall, Eric Stanford, and Ralph Vandervoort round out your top 10. Sean Kalis, Judd Danielson, Blake Griffith, Chad Payne, Gary Sexton, your top 15. Final few drivers to finish and run tonight's race: James Somke, William Locklear, Mark Jackson, Leslie Whitfield, and Ivan Garcia round out your 20-car field that did start tonight's event. Well, now we're going to throw it down to the start-finish line, and I believe I'm going to catch up with the 66 machine of Jack Watts. Jack, where'd you come from? You started 17th, didn't even qualify, but you end up getting 3rd. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, just trying to stay out of trouble, staying in the back, thinking this was going to be a caution-filled race, and everybody, just like Robert, they all proved us wrong.
I'll tell you what, Jack, you did pull it off there. And did you think, where were you even running? I didn't even see. Were you one of the final drivers to stay out there in the late going?
Actually, no. I was so hoping that caution wouldn't come out because Shane, I was right behind Shane, and he still had to pit, and I know he didn't have enough to make it. So right behind him, I think, was Tyler, who just got around him, and there was a couple guys in front of him. So I was really hoping not to see that caution, because before it came out, I definitely had enough to make it to the end.
We end up pulling off the podium finish here. One of your better finishes on the year, Jack. And you had Tyler Chalk, your teammate, up there in the late going as well. But what did you think when you saw him lock up the brakes going into turn number 3 and see that car spin sideways?
Oh, that was scary. I didn't know if he was going to wreck it, save it, or what was going to happen. But when he saved it, I knew he'd catch me. He was fast enough to win this race. He was right on Shane the whole time, so it was a good race between those two.
All right, Jack, will you bring it home in the 3rd spot? Were you running for a chase contingent spot? I'm trying to look through here in the...
Yeah, I'm in 4th in here right now. I've had a few of these top 5 finishes in here, so I'm running up the top 4.
All right, yeah, Jack, you came in 17 points, so you really didn't have any pressure, but you do make it to the final round. You got anything for James Ross, Gary Sexton, Jeremy Crandall, or Gerald Campbell?
It just depends on how the race plays out. I mean, we'll just have to see. Just like tonight, I don't know if Shane was the fastest guy, but he did good. Ran the race he ran and won the race. And I don't think he led most of the night, but he ended up finishing where he finished. So anything can happen in racing.
All right, Shane. Well, you got anybody think before we let you go here?
Yeah, I want to thank my teammates, Southeast Motorsports. Man, these guys helped me so much and put a great truck under me all the time. Over the tops when they help me do some paints, and Doug Turner, who does a lot of my paints. And just thanks for everybody who puts us on.
All right, well, congratulations here, Jack. And now I believe Tyler's caught up with the 07 of Tyler Chalk.
Tyler Chalk, I tell you what, from what I understand, through some honest miscommunication, you did a lot of practicing this week at a different track. You come here at Phoenix, probably one day notice, no idea what the weather's going to be. You jump in here, you actually almost spin yourself out twice, I think. You come home second. Tyler, tell us how you did it.
Yeah, it was a good run for us tonight, especially what really helped us tonight is my good spotter, Nick Reynolds. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been up front running all night, and yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, Nick is a unique guy. He is really, really talented on the track. Obviously, he's proven to be a very big talent as a spotter. We are very thrilled that Nick and you both and all the Southeast guys are part of what we're doing here in 2017. Hopefully, you'll be part of 2018. How in the world did you say that truck twice? I just want to know so I can learn for next year.
Really, it comes back to my dirt skills, running dirt in real life, and just kind of put it all together.
All right, give us a quick 15-second update on your dirt skills in real life. How long have you been doing that? How many wins you got? And where is this happening?
Well, we're here locally in Indiana, up in northern Indiana. We don't have no future wins yet, but we got some heat wins, and that's about it. Get a new car this year, get everything going for next year.
Yes, sir. Make sure you send us the information. We'd love to see some of your races on YouTube, and we wish you all the luck. Obviously, to be honest, most guys that are putting them to great big finishes like you are. They've either got a lot of experience in real life or they got an unbelievable amount of experience in our racing. Congratulations. It's awesome to have you here. Who would you like to thank for the second place finish, Tyler?
First and foremost, my team, Southeast Motorsports. If it wasn't for them, wouldn't be here. Made me a great driver. Also, Nick Reynolds. I mean, again, mentioning him. If it wasn't for him spotting us tonight, we wouldn't be up here. Just everybody that helps out on our team, getting us ready week in and week out.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate it, Tyler. Just so there's no miscommunication, next week's championship race will be at Homestead. Nobody will know the weather until I send it out. And thanks a lot for being here. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Looks like finally Gabe has made his way all the way down in Victory Circle to interview our winner, Shane Parrish.
Out of your teammates.
Well, I tell you what, down here in Big Lane, Shane Parrish, he did a little bit of a Mike Bliss move. Jumped onto the rear tailgate, started dancing, and I believe he gave a kiss to his spotter there, James Ross, who came onto the spotter stand there in the early going. Shane, you did one heck of a job bringing home the victory. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a great night. Definitely want to thank my team, Aegis, all my teammates that have helped me out. Of course, David Worsham, my crew chief, then walked me through a lot here tonight. We practiced, of course, in California, thinking that's where we were going this week, and I missed it, so I didn't have no laps coming into practice tonight. But this is one of my favorite tracks. It turned out really well. Unfortunately, I messed up there early and didn't see my pit guy on pit lane, so I had to go through and almost went a lap down, and luckily that caution come out, or I never caught back up. But all in all, it was a really, really good night for Aegis and my Serpro sponsor, which has done a lot for me and my wife and has helped us through a lot. So if anybody out there has ever got any water, fire, smoke damage, call 1-800-SERPRO. They'd be more happy to help you out.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to make a little bit of a quirk about Serpo cleaning up disasters, and it was really a disaster on pit road. And I talked about it all night. I don't know if you watched, we're listening to the broadcast. You're always, I've said this multiple times tonight, you're always the fastest or one of the fastest drivers in the early going, and it's just whenever you hit pit road, you either have some bad luck in pitting, or can't get off pit road right, and you end up losing a lot of time. And tonight, the same thing happened, but you were able to recover from it.
Yes, I got really lucky on it, Gabe. That's something that, my crew chief, Dave Worsham, and I and the Aegis guys have all talked about. Being number one, really weak at the beginning of the runs, and just backing up too much, saving too much tire, and then of course pit road. So we've been working on it, just working on being smoother, more patient, and letting drivers go when they need to go, and just take my time getting around them, when we need to get around them. So, but it was a great night. Track was great. Truck setup that Aegis gave us was an awesome setup. Just ran really good all night long.
All right, Shane, congratulations. Yeah, you've thanked him multiple times. Thank all your teammates from Aegis. Now, with you being locked into the championship round, do you think you can take it to all your teammates and the rest of the field in the round of 12?
Well, there's a lot of good drivers out here, that are fast, and I've not done a whole lot at Homestead, just like I haven't at California. So I'm gonna have to get out there and do some practicing with my teammates and learn. James and some of the other guys are really fast up front. So it's going to be a tough one, but I can guarantee you that I'm going to give it my all and hope all the fans show up, bring all your relatives, have them focus in, win a free pizza, come out and enjoy it, because without you fans, we all wouldn't be having fun out here. And Gabe and you guys up there that do your thing with your talking to us, and we just appreciate you guys do a great job every week. All
right, Shane, well, congratulations. Robert, we're going to close out tonight's broadcast pretty quickly here, because I think Kevin has a little bit of a bedtime he needs to meet. Got to mess with our new producer here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Gabe. I just want to give a big shout out to Kevin. He is I've known Kevin for a couple, 3 years. We'll make it real short. He is a class act guy, and appreciate him here tonight. This is an awesome race. Never been more impressed by these drivers. Fans, make sure you tune in to next week. Homestead is going to be a lot better than this one, and this one is one of the best ones we've ever had. Gabe, what are your final thoughts?
2 cautions, a lot of good racing, a lot of battling up front, and we didn't know who the winner was going to be till the very end. I was super excited to be in the booth for this one. I kind of wanted to be on the racetrack, but unfortunately you wouldn't let me. But I'm glad I was up in the booth to see this one, and I tell you what, it's going to be one heck of a championship round to see in Homestead next week. Well, from all of us here at the Kevin Fetty TV channel, I guess we would call it, for tonight. But next week and tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be back to your regularly scheduled programming for the Cup Series, or excuse me, I believe it might be the Xfinity Series. But either way, we'll be there for on All Pro Broadcasting. And I tell you what, it's been one heck of a night here. I want to thank Kevin Fetty one more time for stepping up big time and allowing us to get the broadcast in. Robert McFarland, Curtis Young, Shane Parrish, your winner. And I tell you what, it's going to be one heck of a championship fight next week in Homestead. We'll see you then. Good night.
Good night, everybody.